Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I know this is a little bit off today, but if you're going to a regional today, I wanted to talk about, well, actually this weekend, we're going to talk about things that you are going to be seeing now that Dark Neostorm is legal. So buckle up. I'm not going to ask that you're going to enjoy this video because this is going to be a lot of regurgitation, things that we've talked about in the metagame discussions, but let's dig on into what you might run into today at locals or at your regional. Alright, so the projected best deck that you'll probably be seeing a lot of is actually Orkest. And we talked a lot about this, and a lot of people are trying this. There's Danger Orkest, Pure Orkest, that includes all the one card starters out there with the Trickstar engine and things like that. In my personal opinion from testing, trying to do something about the Nightmare Mermaid is usually where you want to go. Dedicating hand traps and things to that stage in the combo just kind of depends, but when you see a Trickstar light stage come down and they search for Candina, you might be a little bit hesitant to want to stop that, because if it is Trickstar, you're kind of like, well, do we go after that? The decision is kind of up to you. You're not going to know necessarily game one in the early stages of which deck you're playing against. It's kind of interesting to kind of see that they're kind of able to manipulate and be these other decks in the format, at least in the early stages of the combo. So that's definitely something to take note of. And considering this is projected to be the best deck out of the weekend here, is just, yes, kind of pay attention. If you are afraid that they are playing a build with the hybrid, just wait for the Mermaid. Obviously, they can still full combo you out, but in my personal opinion, that's about where you want to be. So, but that is, it just kind of depends on where I guess you're sitting in that matchup. So yes, be aware, be afraid. Holy shit, the deck is scary when it wants to be. It's just, it really kind of depends on what's going on, I guess, in your own mind. So, alright, so there's that. Now next up, yeah, Burn is going to be a thing. We all hate Mystic Mine, alright? I think it's a very scary deck. I'm going to be honest with you. Of everything in today's current format, yeah, it is going to be the fucking scariest deck, because people don't know what the fuck they're doing against it. A lot of people don't want to have to main MST or Twin Twisters to counteract the deck in the current format as it is. So yes, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with Mystic Burn. I think the deck is good enough right now that players aren't prepared for it. And I do expect there to be a lot of sad, shitty stories coming out of this weekend. Oh my god, like, I lost to Mystic Burn. Like, why? Like, I'm sorry, guys. You know, Denko Sec is really good. You know, Cosmic, MST, Twin Twister are things that you should be citing for it. But only really Sky Striker can manipulate its own cards off of the field in that matchup through multi-roll. And then, even so, you're on a timer to try to beat this deck anyway, that, you know, it's all bullshit. So, I mean, if you're an Orkest player playing against Mystic Burn, you've already been dealt a shit sandwich as it is, which is really, really, really inconveniencing for players as it is. But yeah, I expect Mystic Burn to get a couple of tops this weekend. I'd be shocked if this deck is just fails out of nowhere, and I think a lot of people are going to be absurdly shocked too. So yes, if you're playing, have some sort of answer to this bullshit, because nobody wants to deal with it, honestly. Now next up, this is a strange one, and it is Altergeist. So Altergeist right now are in this interesting position because they got Crackdown, and they're very, very good outside of kind of their already encompassed window. And when you add more into the deck, you would kind of think to yourself that, maybe Altergeist is the rogue pick. Secret Village might not do what it needs to do this format, but maybe just maybe that isn't everything that you're going to need. I think that overall Altergeist adaptability makes it a very good rogue pick, but the deck isn't that hard to overpower right now. If you are playing Orkest and you do full combo and they do play around you with Siliquitos and all the bouncing shenanigans that they can do, you're going to be in a shitty position. It's not uncommon for Altergeist to be able to out the full entourage of things, in my opinion. I guess it just kind of depends on the variant you're playing too. So, I don't know. Altergeist is this really weird deck. It's like, if the deck gets even lead, if the deck's Secret Village, like, you have to have a good day where you can actually have Siliquitos be threatening. Because, Salad rips through this deck like it's its job. It's like, ah! Like, if you've ever watched a ravenous tiger wanting its food, then yeah. It's very much expected of that, in my opinion. It's just, feed me. So, yes, while Altergeist is a threatening deck at this current point in juncture, it's all kind of up in the air to what else to see right now. Now, there are all kinds of rogue decks that you could see this weekend, and I don't know what the best rogue is going to be. You've got True Draco, which, honestly, Crackdown made the deck a little bit better. Alright, I know a lot of players are happy that they can play True Draco again, but True Draco also has a decent Mystic Burn matchup. Honestly, being able to just fire off your shit in the graveyard and pop stuff, yeah, it's pretty good. But, True Draco's always kind of had a good burn matchup ever since its conception. So, it's kind of up in the air for that. So, just kind of be aware that you'll see a little bit of True Draco. I don't know how much. If you're a Mystic Burn player, yikes. That's not a fun matchup. And then we have, of course, Subterra. I think Subterra is really good right now. I think a very good Subterra player right now could actually do something in the metagame, and that's also saying something, because double Super Poly, you're not the only deck that can abuse this, but goddamn, you're the deck that has the extra good hand trap, which means your already curved shitty matchups in general are only just going to get better, in my opinion. So yeah, Subterra is a very scary deck to play against this weekend, because if you're playing something like Salad, or you're playing something like, I don't know, something like Orkest, it's just a shit show all the way around for you. So yeah, just take it with a grain of salt if you're playing against Subterra, because that deck is going to wreck you. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about here is, Asylum Angry. So, you're a budget player, and you want to play Asylum Angry this weekend, or you're playing against Asylum Angry. Do not assume that everybody has sign-up minings as of yet. The deck still has the same problems it had last format. A well-timed Ogre can hurt the deck. Well, what do you Ogre? If the normal summon has an effect that activates, you're not in a shit position by any stretch of the imagination. Sign-up mining's a pretty good card to Ash. DD Crow still does a lot of work against this deck, in my opinion. It's kind of dumb, just how much, I guess, of an advantage you can put yourself in with resolving these key cards. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh against Salad last format, because while the deck is still very good and it still has a lot of the plays it did, it's two negations isn't that incredibly hard to play around. It's kind of the same thing I've heard about a lot of people with Mystic Burn. While Mystic Mines is good, the rest of the deck is kind of shit, and once you get around that Mystic Mines, it's it's easy to deal with. And it's kind of the same thing here. While a lot of the format, players are making the argument that you shouldn't have to play Spell and Trap Destruction. What if I want my whole monster deck? Had this been like 4 years ago when we were already playing main deck monsters or Spell and Trap Destruction, we wouldn't have had this issue. But for some reason, community's evolved to the point of we don't need things. But hey, an MST automatically baits one of Salad's back row, so that's good by me. So if you're going to an event this weekend, these are kind of going to be the things that you should watch out for. Kind of understand that these are very good decks, and it will be interesting to kind of see how these do. So guys, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think about these decks. And, well guys, I'm out. Have a good rest of your weekend. There'll be some interesting videos on this channel. I just need a breather. Alright, peace out guys. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.